So here we have the second fight of the evening, of the return of Smoking Joe, Goodwin Promotion show at York Hall. We have the professional debut of Aston Mount in the white and red shorts, and Jody One Man Right Meikle in the black and red shorts. I'm joined by Josh Goodwin, the youngest promoter in the world. So Josh, as we know, we've got Jody Meikle, who we know very much of, and you've seen around the circuit quite a lot.
Oh, he's definitely one of the best journeymen about in this country at the moment, and I think it's going to be a shame when he retires.
Yeah, he retires this month. This month, isn't it? Yes, I think he's got one more fight after this. He's taken part in his 60th contest, and the one thing about Meikle is he can ask a few questions, and he can be a bit awkward, and he can be frustrating, especially for a debutant.
It's a great learning fight, though.
It's a great learning fight for him. Yeah, he's very, very good. And very few people hurt Meikle. I know he's been put down only a few times before, but in 60 contests, he's lost 50, but he's only been knocked out 3 times. So he knows how to survive. He knows how to fight. So it'll be an interesting one. As you said, it can be frustrating because he's got an awkward style. It can be awkward to try and get your rhythm going, but it's a good start from Mount so far. Both just having a little look. He's obviously a little bit nervous. So it seems like he's sold a few tickets, Josh. Anyway,
he's a very popular man. He's even got Danny from the script supporting him today. So he's got the fan base to make a good career.
That's a good start for your pro debut. If you can get someone like Danny from the scripts to come and watch us, good thing. So he's a personal trainer, Aston Mount, trained by Andy Edge, who also trains Ajay Sharif and Michael Sprott. So he's got a good camp,
very good camp
behind him. So he's just having a little look. Obviously, let's say it is his debut. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking. Not an awful lot happened so far in this light heavyweight contest.
I think Aston's doing what he has to do to win the round so far, though. Just settling down, get rid of the nerves.
Meikle there with the right hand that just gets around the glove, partly gloved from Mount there. So he's in good shape, and Meikle always comes in good shape anyway, doesn't he, Jody Meikle? So
he always asks questions.
Nice long leaping left hook and then a right from Meikle there. And did connect, but mainly blocked by Mount. And a little bit of flashy footwork from Meikle there, but just missing with the jab. And
Meikle's settling down now. He's doing what he does best.
And Mount here has just got to be trying not to be drawn into too much of Meikle's antics here. Just got to concentrate on what he's got to do. Just like to see Mount be a little bit busier this round, just so he's trying to establish his jab. Just trying to get
one there from Jody.
Had a little chat Meikle, and so Mount's not getting too involved, but a left and a right from Meikle again there. That just seems to be what Meikle's doing so far, just raiding in with little shots in and out. And ended the first round, and how'd you score that one, Josh? Okay, round 2 of a scheduled 4 rounds, a light heavyweight contest between the debutant Aston Mount in the red and white shorts versus Jody Meikle in the black and red. And the second round's a bit more lively already straight away. Aston come to throw a few more shots. Nice jab there from Mount.
I think Jody's doing everything he can to make it difficult to Aston to work, but Aston's got to find a way around it.
And that's the key part of the journeyman play, isn't it, Josh? That a lot of boxing fans don't necessarily realise. They get nice counter left hook there and a right hand from Mount there.
See Jody speaking to him right there in the clinch. He's playing mind games.
He likes to leap in with that left hook, old Meikle, and he likes to have a little dance around as well. But then, as we were saying, just they play an important part in boxing, journeyman. They get bad press sometimes, and we know with people obviously like Robin Deacon just recently in the paper getting the bad press. But it's important for
boxing does need journeymen.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's becoming a shortage of them. There's a few of them not having their licence renewed.
As a promoter, I can tell you how hard it is to match fighters nowadays. When we started 4 years ago, the amount of journeymen was a lot more than there is now.
Absolutely, and that's ultimately going to make it better and worse in one respect. It's going to be better because there's going to be more competitive fights, but you're also going to find a lot of debutants that might get found out earlier, and it's going to be harder to promote someone like that, Josh, from your point of view, if you haven't got the journeyman out there. Got a right hand from Mount missing there, and Meikle having a little rest on the ropes, and he comes in with a swinging left hook and right hook. Decide to stop and have a little chat with Bob Williams, the referee, meanwhile. And the boxing scene will miss Meikle when he retires next.
He's a great character.
This one, he's always entertaining, having another little rest. Nice double jab there. Mount's doing well, they're not getting involved, just going about his game. A nice right and left there.
Can't switch off against him.
And Meikle had a win in February this year. Josh, he stopped Adam Brzezinski in the second round of a TKO. So he can punch. He can, although he's had 7 wins, he's only had 2 knockouts, but he can still be dangerous. All pros can punch.
I think when he sets his mind to it, I think Jody can cause a lot of trouble and win a lot of fights if he really chose them. I think he's taken the journeyman route for his career, so he knows if he starts winning, people won't want to fight him.
A nice right hand there from Meikle, but a right hand from Mount to the body before that. He just takes another shot there, Mount. He started off quite lively this round, Mount. He's got a little bit quiet as the round's gone on. I still think he's done enough to win this round, though. And Meikle getting some laughs from the crowd here, Josh. And he's trying to force it a little bit more, Mount. He's trying to make Meikle fight, which is good. And he sees the left hook come in there and ducks underneath it. Good head movement. And his hands nice and high. I think a round for Mount that time. Scheduled for, and how did you score that last round, Josh?
I thought Aston just edged it on work rate, but there was a few clean shots landed by Jody in the last round, so it's a close fight so far.
And he started well again, Meikle, so far, and got a nice left from Mount there, just as Meikle was getting a bit cocky again, laying on the ropes as he always done. What do you know of Aston Mount, Josh, if maybe the fans watching?
I don't know too much about him. I know he only had about half a dozen amateur fights, so he's got to learn on the game, on the job. So
known as the Total Package, which is an interesting nickname. It's not alias I've heard before on the boxing scene.
It's good to be unique in the boxing scene.
Yeah, absolutely. The Total Package. So he's 31 years old. I think he's 32 this year. So he's turned over late, Aston Mount.
I think a lot of pros will turn over a bit later nowadays. We've got Justin Menzies, like middleweight. I think he's 30. He's had 2 fights. So I think the human body's learning to go longer nowadays. So I think you get away with turning over later.
And also, Josh, I think it helps that in recent years, in perhaps certainly since I've been in professional boxing for the last 3 years or so, even at 3 years, it's actually a bit easier to get a licence down than what it was perhaps 3 to 4 years ago. So I think it's encouraged more people to try and turn over. And some good shots there from Mount of Meikle against the ropes.
He's keeping on the ropes, not letting himself get tangled. That's what you want to see.
Just like to see him pop this jab from there and his straight shots. A nice jab and a very, very wide overhand right from Meikle, and then a little chat to someone at ringside just after he's thrown the shot.
I think you see the frustration in Aston's face. I think he's struggling to pin him down, but he's got to take his time and not get frustrated.
Yeah, it can be a thing. I'd like to see him just move his head a little bit more. Just try and move his feet in a little bit close. He seems to be attacking from a little bit far away sometimes. Meikle's doing the same thing, just rushing in. I'd like to see him just move his head, just try and get behind that jab. And if he can hit him consistently with that jab, he's got his range, and then he can go to work from there. Just like to see him from here, Josh, just popping his jab out there, stopping Meikle from coming at him there from here. If he could just throw the jab to keep Meikle busy, rather than waiting for Meikle to then lunge in and then obviously ultimately being tied up at close range. So from here, just like to see him, just like that, just the 1-2, turn the left, that's much better from Aston. That's more what we want to see from him, Josh. Just putting his shots together. Just waiting a little bit too long at times. Mount, as you said, you can see he's getting a little bit frustrated. But it is his debut. I think he's done quite well so far. And let's be honest, although Meikle's record isn't perhaps the best on paper, we know, Josh, being around this game, that he's a more difficult customer than his record suggests.
He's as I said earlier, if he put his mind to it and trained hard, he definitely could have had a lot more wins on his record.
End of the third round again, I think, a round for Mount now. So round 4 and final round of the light heavyweight contest. How have you scored the fight so far, Josh?
I've scored every round to Aston so far. I think his work rate's just edging it for me. I'd like to see Aston use his jab as a good rangefinder, not just pouring out like he is.
Yeah, use it as a weapon rather than just a thing. As you said, Meikle's a hard first fight for him, because he is awkward, Meikle. He is one of the more lively journeymen. As we just seen in the fight beforehand, Christian Late, no disrespect to Christian Late, but Christian doesn't really come in as lively as perhaps Meikle is in terms of...
Christian Late does what he has to do to be able to fight every week and earn the money. Jody Meikle likes to try and entertain the fans.
Absolutely, and he's doing that so far, and he's got I think he's turned some of the Mount fans to him, cheering and laughing at some of his antics. And what do you think as a promoter, Josh? Do you like Meikle's antics? Do you think it's good for the sport, not good for the sport?
It's something different for the fans to watch, and Meikle himself is a good learning fight. So I think Meikle's a very good opponent to have on the show.
I have to admit, I know there's some people out there that don't like it very much. I don't think it looks professional, but I quite like it. I think it's quite entertaining. He still tries to fight the way he does it. And like I say, he's very good at what he does. He doesn't get stopped very often. So with all the antics that he doesn't take too many really, really cleanly. And like you say, it's just something different from
It's like to see Aston maybe try and step off when Jody comes rushing in, try and counter him. He's just standing there and being too happy to hold on.
Yeah, a bit static with his feet, Josh. Yeah, good call there. He's a little bit static with his feet at the moment. And it is his first one. And that's better there when he's there. See that shot coming. He's got good lateral movement. He moves out the way. He does see shots coming. Mount hasn't been hit with a great deal, but I think he just needs to be a little bit busier. Nice right hand there, just forced Meikle back. Just got to be careful he doesn't get too close here, otherwise Meikle will just tie him up and then slide away. And he likes that shot, doesn't he, Meikle? That jab and then that overhand right. So I'd like to see Mount from here, just throwing the jab from there, just keeping Meikle at bay, just trying to stop Meikle from coming in and throwing these shots.
Has to maybe double that jab out right hand after, try and keep him at range. But just again, gets too close.
That's the thing, gets too close and then Meikle will tie up. And Meikle will work on the inside. Meikle's been here a million times before, so he will work on the inside. And that's perhaps one thing from an amateur or someone from the unlicensed perhaps coming over to the pros is, on the unlicensed amateurs there's not a lot of inside work, but the pros, obviously it's one of the things.
That's the main difference in my opinion from amateur to pros.
Absolutely. It's when you get close, instead of waiting for the referee, the guy's still trying to hit you. Again, still a quiet round. It's the last round. I'd like to see Mount just step it up a little bit, walking across to him there. It's the end of the fourth round. Have you scored that, Josh?
I think Aston just edged that again, just slightly. It's been a good close fight though.
Have you scored every round, Mount?
I think that's maybe a bit wide, but I think it's a closer fight than my scorecard has.
So that's what he's got to do, Mount.
He's got to have learning fights from the off.
From the off, absolutely. Well, let's go down to the MC for confirmation.
Carrying on with his antics.
Second, third and fourth, and it's not